And welcome back, folks. It is Kamikaze here, bringing you more of Danganronpa. Continuing where we left off. ...
You had better speak soon. Your silence only damns you further.
Fess up already! Did you kill Rantaro?
Hey, Shuichi, what's gotten into you?
Don't tell me you're gonna plead the fifth now.
Oh man, this is getting good! Entertain me, peasants!
Again, foot, punt, into cactus. No way. Shuichi can't be the culprit. That's definitely wrong. There's no way. I refuse to believe Shuichi is the culprit. That's definitely not possible. The thing is he left you for a little... Oh, really? There's an intermission now, right as I freaking... Oh, whatever. Do you want to save? Yes, maybe. If I just waited 2 more seconds, that would have been a good place to end the freaking... Now, whatever. I did say, right?
Well now.
Carly, you can go and take everything.
Yeah?
Bearhood for godhood.
Now then.
Okay. Resume class trial. You ready?
I feel like we're getting close to the gory part. It's making me nervous.
I don't know who the culprit is, but I'm not paying attention, so it's okay.
Yeah, but there's one thing we do know. The line between victim and attacker ain't as clear as you might think.
I suppose that's one lesson we can take away from this case.
I cut off the leg before the poison spread. By spring, flowers will grow from the stump.
What? What?
Say something already.
Your tongue-tied silence speaks volumes. I fucking knew you were the culprit.
You didn't know shit.
Wait just a minute! None of that is possible! Shuichi was with me the whole time we were on lookout.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. We've established this in my brain. Is the fact that he left for a short bit of time to inspect something. He had 30 seconds to rig a trap to kill his victim. I'm guessing. I mean, I don't know. If you watched the previous episodes, you know where my mind is.
When are you suggesting Shuichi killed Rantaro? Were you really together the whole time? Huh?
Yeah,
What do you
were
mean?
fornicating in the classroom. I mean, watching the vents.
I'm asking if you two were on lookout together the whole time. Well, I guess we weren't together the whole time.
So that's when Shuichi went to kill Rantaro!
No! Shuichi wouldn't kill anyone!
Don't become emotional. We must seek the truth in a calm and logical manner.
Oh, but that's boring.
or all our lives will be lost here.
I'm not being emotional here. I'm saying it with conviction.
Even if Shuichi did go to the basement, he couldn't have killed Rantaro because...
Shoot!
But wait. Really? Really? It had to be the security sensor?
I get it! The security alarm didn't ring until after Shuichi returned to the classroom.
Didn't we cover the whole thing of how this alarm thing works? With the little remotes?
It only rang after Rantaro moved the hidden door, which means he was still alive. If Shuichi was with me when the alarm went off, then that means he's not the culprit.
By the way, I want to confirm one thing with you, Kaede.
Hold on. Brain together. Doesn't he have the ability to set it off manually and he had the remote there?
Who set the security sensor on the bookcase? It was Shuichi, right?
Oh my god, that guy's face.
Huh? Yeah. Shuichi was the one who set up the security sensor. What about it?
Did you actually check for yourself if the sensor was set on the bookcase, Kaede?
No, I didn't check.
Did it ever occur to you that Shuichi could have lied about setting the sensor?
A lie?
But why wouldn't he have taken advantage of the perk?
Shuichi pretended to place the sensor on the hidden bookcase door. But in actuality, he was holding it the whole time.
What?
And when he met up with you, he secretly triggered the sensor to make the security alarm go off.
That would cause Kaede to assume that someone had moved the bookcase.
I see! Sneaky little fucker!
No. At this rate, everyone's going to think Shuichi is the culprit. I have to do something. I know for a fact he's not the culprit. So I gotta do something, as I just previously indicated. And Cosmo, you're gonna fall down. Fluffy little beast of burden. From this point on, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Squishy kitty. Your truth bullets will disappear if they touch these lines, so think of them as yopsticles. You can use the silencer. Oh, that's a left click, I guess. Now, why would you do that? Because not only does it make it easier to shoot the weak spots, you also get an additional time. What a great deal! Use it to your heart's content. Thank you for the opportunity.
The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it, in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Only an idiot could make that mistake.
Okay. Cat has moved. I now have full access to my lab. Shuichi couldn't have had the sensor on him. That's right. I should have evidence that proves that.
The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it.
Nope. There's no point in arguing against me. Ow!
The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it, in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Only an idiot could make that mistake. The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it.
That was a miss. And now I failed. Is everyone suspecting me? Done debating already?
Is there nothing else I can
They
do?
can't blame her, they were just suspecting him, so that means... make preparations and retry now.
We won't give up!
Oh, it doesn't just, like, say that you're the culprit? Oh well. I missed that about the other ones. Non-stop death.
The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it, in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Only an idiot can make that mistake. The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it.
Nope, that wasn't it either. Let me just beat the crap out of myself some more.
The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it.
Nope, not that either.
Shoot!
I know you screwed up.
The
'cause I
security
screwed up.
sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it.
Oh, there.
No, that's wrong!
Here, I've just decided to shoot randomly, but it wasn't.
Wait a minute. This is weird. If the security sensor wasn't placed, then we wouldn't have been able to take that picture.
The remote he has on him. The remote! Because that's pretty far for that thing to...
We were only able to get it because the sensor was triggered by the hidden door.
Oh, that? Pfft, easy to explain. Well, you see... I guess you're right. Sorry, I didn't think that far ahead.
You're giving up that easily?
Yeah, I mean, whatevs. I made a mistake, big deal.
You speak as if you knew that from the start. Even I was taken in.
So you see, Shuichi can't be the culprit.
You know, the more and more it does this, the more and more I think that Shuichi is the culprit.
Now wait just a minute. The security sensor had a power supply, so what if it went like this? The security sensor was set up on the bookshelf, and Shuichi had its receiver. However, Shuichi turned the receiver off.
Huh? How come?
That would get you a picture, but no alarm when Rentaro moved the bookcase. Then, when Shuichi says he's going to check the basement, he actually goes to the library. And thanks to the 30-second interval, he's got time to go in after Rantaro.
But how would he know? How would he know that he triggered it? And then 30 seconds to go in whatever?
He could have collected the sensor from the hidden bookcase after killing Rantaro.
I see. Then he caused the receiver to go off in front of Kaede to trick her.
Why isn't he talking?
It's certainly plausible, considering that Shuichi knew about the intervals.
How needlessly complicated. But I guess it's not impossible.
Someone's gonna kill her, and she's not gonna kill anyone. I mean, seriously, she's too lazy to do anything. Well, then again, she might poison someone or something.
Then, Shuichi really is the culprit?
So the ultimate detective is the killer. What a plot twist!
Wait! Why do you guys think he's the culprit? Shuichi, please say something. Why aren't you saying anything?
Shuichi, what's wrong? You're not culprit, are you?
Hey, you gonna say anything? We'll all vote for you if you don't.
Are you okay with being the culprit? Are you ready to turn yourself in?
She is crazy. What should I do? Everyone suspects Shuichi. There's no way he's the culprit, but even so. Why won't Shuichi say anything? Is there a reason he won't say anything? If that's the case, then it's all up to me. To protect everyone, I need to take control of this debate. Even if that means I have to lie to do it. What? Wait, what? That's like suicide when it comes to this kind of thing. Did you hear that? A lie? Now, I know this sounds crazy, but telling a lie in a class trial? But sometimes telling a lie is necessary to reach the truth. Oh, but don't worry, there are no lies in this tutorial. From here on out, there'll be times in a debate you have to lie. Wow, they have to make this more convoluted every time they make a game. Love it, hate it, same time. From here on out, there are times that you have to lie. Before you had to refute the lies, but now you have to lie yourself. Doesn't that just get your heart pumping? No, not really. Select the truth bullet like a normal non-stop debate. But when you hold Y, the truth bullet will become a lie bullet with the opposite meaning. Releasing Y to shoot the lie bullet. But when you use a lie bullet to argue or agree with someone's statement, it will become a perjury. Statements that paint over the truth with lies. While lying, your influence gauge will drain, a successful lie will restore it. But if you miss with your lie bullet, you will take damage, so be careful. Shoot like crazy. Also, I heard a rumor that there's a secret way to advance debates. It's called a back route. Let's just say that only those who lie well will be able to find it. Thank you muchly. Interesting.
go over the case one more time.
The security sensor was placed on the moving bookcase. Shuichi also had the receiver.
Turned off.
Damn it, I'm trying to...
And so when Rantaro moved the bookcase, a picture was taken without the alarm sounding.
Then, taking advantage of the camera's interval timer,
Shuichi hid in the library and murdered the shit out of Rantaro! And then he grabbed the security sensor from the bookcase and returned to the lookout spot.
Afterward, he set off the receiver in front of Kaede on purpose to make her think the murder had just happened. Praise be Tuatua! We've solved this case! So Shuichi was just using Kaede.
The basis for the suspicion is that Shuichi had the receiver for the security sensor. If I can argue against that, everything should be okay. I have to retake control. I have to tell the lie, so we can get closer to the truth.
Let's go over the case one more time.
the security sensor was placed on the moving bookcase. Shuichi also had the receiver.
Oh, come on, you piece of shit. Oh, I did hit it. Okay, so I did hit it.
Let's go over the case one more time.
The security sensor was placed on the moving bookcase. Shuichi also had the receiver.
But he had it turned off.
And so when Rantaro moved the bookcase, a picture was taken without the alarm sounding.
Then, taking advantage of the camera's interval timer,
Shuichi hid in the library and murdered the shit out of Rantaro! And then he grabbed the security sensor from the bookcase and returned to the lookout spot.
Afterward, he set off the receiver in front of Kaede on purpose to make her think the murder had just happened. Praise be Tuatua! We've solved this case! So Shuichi was just using Kaede.
Just trying to think. Yeah, I know. He had the receiver. I had the receiver. Let's just say that. You take control, blah, blah, blah.
Let's go over the case one more time.
the security sensor was placed on the moving bookcase. Shuichi also had the receiver.
That's not what I meant to do, but okay.
Let's go over the case one more time.
The security sensor was placed on the moving bookcase. Shuichi also had the receiver.
But he had it turned
Damn
off.
it.
And so when Rantaro moved the bookcase, a picture was taken without the alarm sounding.
Then, taking advantage of the camera's interval timer,
Shuichi hid in the library and murdered the shit out of Rantaro!
Is there a way
And
of
then
speeding
he
this
grabbed
up?
the security sensor from the bookcase and returned to the lookout spot.
Afterward, he set off the receiver in front of Kaede on purpose to make her think the murder had just happened.
Praise be Tuatua!
Praise be Tuatua! We've solved this case! So Shuichi was just using Kaede.
Thinking. Okay. So, I wish I could look through the bullets right now instead of having to be in that debate. Okay. So, it says about the sensor being on him. And then I wish I had a good memory, because I can't even remember what the other thing was.
Let's go over the case one more time.
the security sensor was placed on the moving bookcase. Shuichi also had the receiver.
Nope, that didn't work. I don't think it's always gonna make me lie.
Let's go over the case one more time.
The security sensor was placed on the moving bookcase. Shuichi also had the receiver.
But he had it turned off.
And so when Rantaro moved the bookcase, A picture was taken without the alarm sounding.
Then, taking advantage of the camera's interval timer,
Shuichi hid in the library and murdered the shit out of Rantaro! And then he grabbed the security sensor from the bookcase and returned to the lookout spot.
Afterward, he set off the receiver in front of Kaede on purpose to make her think the murder had just happened. Praise be to Atua! We've solved this case!
Straight
So
through it
Shuichi was just using Kaede.
Oh, did I just kill myself?
Is there nothing else I can do?
Yes, I would like to
We
retry.
won't give up!
So, I thought there was two things in this to debate, not just that one.
Let's go over the case one more time.
Okay, now I'm gonna be quiet and look.
the security sensor was placed on the moving bookcase. Shuichi also had the receiver.
Okay, there's one.
But he had it turned off.
And so when Rantaro moved the bookcase, a picture was taken without the alarm sounding.
Then, taking advantage of the camera's interval timer,
Shuichi hid in the library and murdered the shit out of Rantaro! And then he grabbed the security sensor from the bookcase and returned to the lookout spot.
Afterward, he set off the receiver in front of Kaede on purpose to
Okay, so
make her
there's only
think the
one
murder
thing.
had just happened. Praise be to Atua! We've solved this case! So Shuichi was just using Kaede.
Oh, I see. It does drain my health.
Let's go over the case one more time.
the security sensor was placed on the moving bookcase. Shuichi also had the receiver.
Yeah, that is what I
Turn
wanted
this
to do to
lie
begin with.
into the truth!
I did that before!
Sorry, you guys. I forgot to tell you something important.
Fuck.
Forgot?
I thought that is what I was trying to do to begin with. Fucking hell.
To tell you the truth, it was me. I had the receiver.
Huh?
So that's why there's no way Shuichi could have turned off the receiver.
If that is true, then the entire premise of the argument thus far is wrong.
Is this true, Kaede?
No, but we're gonna say yes, because this is a game.
Of course! Come on, would I lie to you guys?
You're the murderer!
That only screw yourself over. If we mess up, you're dead too, you know.
Or perhaps you wanted to cover for Shuichi, even at the cost of your life.
Huh? I cannot imagine why anyone would risk their life to lie on another's behalf.
Words from a true heartless robot. Emotions are only for meatbags.
That is a harmful stereotype. I can produce heartfelt remarks through calculations.
Like less than 3? Those kinds of calculations?
What?
It's not so unthinkable. All hearts are blind when faced with radiant love. Doing anything for the one you love. Hasn't everyone felt that way before? I most certainly have, at least.
With how creepy you are, I'm sure that person didn't want your love.
Kaede and Shuichi are pretty buddy-buddy with each other, so I wouldn't doubt that. Plus, the way Kaede just acted right now, I'm pretty sure she lied. A talented liar like me can spot other people's lies easily.
So you are the ultimate liar.
Well, what do you guys think? To believe or not to believe, Kaede?
I do want to believe Kaede, but Shuichi does seem pretty suspicious. He has been
Yeah,
What?
I agree.
Shuichi is the only person here who's suspicious.
So we all agree that Puichi did it? Then let's just vote already!
No, I still think it is too soon to determine the culprit.
I agree. I sort of can't believe that Shuichi is the culprit.
Yeah, this ain't right.
I agree. But I don't know if Atua agrees. 'Cause right now it's his nap time.
Nappy time!
This is quite troublesome. It seems our opinions are on opposite ends.
How are we supposed to decide? We're split, right down middle.
Unga bunga.
Hold on! Split? Did you just say split?
What?
You did! I heard it! I heard it with my belly button microphone!
So now we know where the microphone is. Stab him there.
So wait! Your ears don't do anything?
Really? That's what you take from this?
The Ultimate Academy is proud to present its very own more phenomenal trial grounds!
The what?
More phenomenal trial grounds?
Morph is to change shape. Phenomenal? Phenomenal? More phenomenal? I don't know.
The trial grounds are gonna morph? Seriously? I totally want to see that!
Either way, we have to do something. But unfortunately, that's gonna have to be next time. Because we're going to call the episode here. So, same rules apply. Folks like it, subscribe. Other than that, whatever you feel like doing, I will see you guys in the next episode of Danganronpa.